what up, guys? Welcome to Faded Town, the number one Pokemon podcast in the world, even after 7 months of being gone. I know it's hard to believe, but no one's done anything. Like, I don't know. I don't see anything. I'm pretty sure we're still number one. It's like, I'm not trying to trash anyone, but the effort's just not out there, all right? I mean, it is what it is.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, Google it. You're still going to find us. You're still going to find us. I go to the library, do whatever you got to do. Number one Pokemon podcast in the world. And we're back. I know, 7 months. I've decided we're going hard. We're going to do a full year. I will not miss, quote me on this, I will not miss a week. A full year, will not miss a week. At least one podcast. At least these one-on-ones, 52 of them, starting with Rahul. Fortunately. But it's just, I don't know. I decided I put in some plans. I think there's big things to come from this podcast, and if you're not following, you should follow. Hit the like button. That shit helps. Subscribe. All the good stuff. I'll be putting these out. One-on-ones will be on Mondays. I think Thursdays we'll be back with like Carter, Tate, whoever wants to join. At this point, I think I've had 97 co-hosts. So like I just talk to anyone and they can jump on. But I'm pretty sure Carter is 100% down. Tate's I don't know, Tate goes on a podcast to talk about everything and doesn't bring up our podcast at all. I'm like, you just did a podcast for like, he's done like 15, 20 episodes, doesn't bring up his podcast on a podcast. And I'm like, this is why we gotta get rid of Tate, dude. Dude thinks like Chick-fil-A's bad or some shit. He doesn't like Cane's. His favorite color is like fucking purple or something. And it's just like, it doesn't work. I don't know, Tate. If you're listening to this, DM me, dude. All right, we gotta talk. This might be.
I miss you.
But anyways, guys, we're back with the one-on-ones. We get the best guests. We have Rahul Reddy here. He's been on before. We've done this before, but
yeah.
It's been over a year. And as you can see, if you go back and watch like the 2 times he's been on, progressively he's moved in. He's moved into his room. There's a bookcase. There's a bookcase.
Yeah, I've got the bookcase up.
There's
a singular dumbbell.
Yes, he's doing pretty well. I think when we first talked to him, he was in his like kitchen, and then he was in a room with nothing, and then like a year later, he was still in that same room with nothing. But now we have a bookcase, boys, and it's full of stuff, so it's pretty dope.
We got plushies.
Yeah, I think last time we talked, we were just talking about COVID and how it's going to shut everything down. And now it shut this podcast down. So, now we're back 7 months later. And what has changed? Pretty much nothing. We literally have not had an event. There's a lot of online stuff. I personally have not participated in any of it other than like the one thing that was like semi-worlds that Bradner won, that people wanted to shit on Bradner and say he's not the world champion, and then I don't care what anyone says. The only people that say he's not the world champion are the people that lost, alright? It's like, it is what it is. Like, I heard, well, I didn't try hard enough. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that you didn't try? Alright? Bradner tried, and guess what? Bradner won, alright? Your fault that you didn't try.
I think they're like same 60 got top 8. Like Will, I think got top 8 with it. Like that was the closest thing we had to a Worlds, and like sure, it'll never reach the level of prestige.
Exactly.
But it was a huge turnout. Like a lot of people came out, a lot of people played, and it was probably the most competitive thing we've had during Corona. Like I don't even think the Players' Cup can be compared to that like level of competitiveness because of how they structured out the day 1 and day 2 and everything.
I agree.
Like out of everything that's happened, that's the only thing that has sparked my wanting to play, because that's the only tournament I've also try-harded for. I got 9th. So.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I thought, when I was talking, I thought you were, I got top 8, I'm like, are you sure, dude? Are you sure it's going to be close? And then
they put the standings up right before the last round, and I saw I was like 10% deep. and I was like, oh, I'm so fucked. And then I hit the doll stall, and I was like, oh, I'm so fucked. And then I ID'd because I had to bank on Will losing, and he hit Baby Blondes. So if you prize his Vika, he could have lost, but the guy just like drew completely dead, and Will just rolled him.
Yeah. Like, I think that tournament was the only tournament that was like really formatted like a regional, where it felt like a regional. Everything else has their own little flair on it. Like the Players Cups, you got those 50 fucking key thing, and I don't know. I don't know. Those little tournaments.
Players Cup was like,
I think that was the best way they could have done it.
Yeah.
It was way
Players Cup
better
1 was
than. Oh God. Do we even talk about Players Cup 1, or do we just move on? Like, no one wants to talk about that. That became just.
I mean, we can. It was just a train wreck.
It was just like a lot of top players didn't even try because it was like not clear.
Yeah, and then like halfway through, people started realizing like that like the rep was a lot lower than like people anticipated because so many people didn't try. Yeah. Azul put out this like really big video about him not participating and telling people not to participate, which I think caused a huge group of people not to play in general. So then people like that made brand new accounts were able to sneak in at the bottom.
Yep.
I only used like 200-ish of my tickets, which is still a lot to be something to say, but like I was sitting on like 900 plus going in, so I was never worried.
Yeah, I have like 900. I think there's like one day left. I tweeted, hey, who wants to use my 900 tickets and get me a trip to Australia? Because I was like, you could possibly just do that, but I don't know. The whole thing was crazy. But then I didn't like the response by Pokemon has been so 100% better. Like, not saying it's great, but we had nothing. We would say shit and we would get absolutely nothing. And now it's like, oh fuck, they're listening, or at least there's something there, which is dope.
Yeah, they've introduced a lot of cool shit actually. Like Players Cup 2 was like probably one of the best responses they could have done, where I think it was probably the most fair way to do everything.
I agree.
Like 50 keys, we had a big allotted window. The window was very clear. Tournament rep was laid out very clear. No rep for 5th through 8th, equal for 3rd, 4th. Like it was a very like structured. It made sense. They listened to pretty much everything. It was like a very like good way to do it, and I think I remember looking at NA numbers because me and Nico were talking about this, and it was at least. It didn't tell you how many players participated in at least one tournament, but if you went to the very last page of the rankings for rep, it was like 5,000, at least 5,700 players had at least one tournament rep, which is in NA, just in NA, which is like, that means at least 5,700 players placed 3rd, 4th, or better in one tournament, which is pretty nutty to think about, considering we never see those numbers at regionals.
That's true. I think, but I've always said that. I think if you want Pokemon to grow, online's where you go.
Correct.
As long, I don't know. I hated it, but I also just didn't like the format. I still don't like the format.
I played. I didn't care, but I played.
Yeah, I played a little bit, and then I couldn't even win with ADP, and I'm like, dude, I'm fucking washed, and I don't even want to sit here and play mirror matches.
I've never been someone who plays meta. As I've been here on this podcast before, I've talked about it. Like, I don't play meta, so like, I played like the first 5 or 6 tournaments with like ADP, and I was like, this deck sucks.
Dude, I hate.
And then I just built like this like insane. I just built like a very counter meta Luke metal deck.
Okay.
And I just kind of like played it the way I did. And I not to take away from anyone's credit that have been playing online tournaments. I know there's a lot of players who are like known for Luke metal or certain decks because of online tournaments, but I didn't look at anyone's lists. I just kind of like threw together a list based on what cards I thought were intuitively good. So I had like a lot of weird like 2 counts, and then that pretty much carried. Like I think I played that for like the last 20, and I think I averaged like 2nd place finishes.
Damn. So but the one thing I do want to point out is like I said I've you could quote me on this a long time. The standings on an online tournament would be a million times different than it would be in person.
I agree. Absolutely agree.
And if you look at the Players Cup, if you look at like the top 10, I maybe can notice 2 people on there or some shit. The rest are like, who are these people? But yeah, like I think it's good.
I was talking. It's great for like newer players entering and getting that like chance to prove themselves, that chance to like taste competition, which I think is super cool. But at the same time, like my heart goes out to like those players who can't really sit down and zone in. I'm one of them. Like I'm not going to sit here and like tell you that I felt like I was competing in a real setting. I was honestly like making mistakes left and right playing those qualifiers. I was it was like 5 a.m. I'm dicking around like on Discord just like playing, and I'm just like, I had game. Like, what am I doing? Kind of thing.
I agree. It is hard when you put it that way.
And then I qualified for the second phase, but then it's a full day commitment where you're sitting at your computer.
Yeah.
And
there's so many distractions you could.
Yeah, your phone, like for example, your phone's right here. Your other monitor could have something on it, like like Discord, like everything. You have to keep notifications on for the Players Cup because the Discord announcement server is happening, and so like you can't focus the same way you would at a tournament.
I agree.
And I was never able to get into that mindset. Like for Players Cup 1 quals, or like the second phase of the first one, I took it semi-seriously because I have somewhat of a reputation to uphold, is how I felt at that time. So I won my first game. The second game I made like an egregious misplay that cost me the entire set. And then I didn't recover from tilt. So that's basically like where I went off. And then this one I had like an anxiety attack and just didn't play. Because like I had to get up like super early, and like I've been going through a lot of stuff with family, so I just kind of sat it out. And I mean, like, you don't really do that for like our regionals, but again, the fact that it was online kind of let me
just not
kind of just not play.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like I'm trying to think, because it's like I think there's two sides to that. Like obviously, it's hard to get into the zone if you're just aren't used to that, you know. But then there's another side where people are like, they're not nervous. Like at a live event, they would be nervous, so they would play worse. At home, they're comfortable and like they're focused. They can do it, you know. So
they're
it's
playing,
yeah. So it's like there's just it's two different aspects, and it's hard.
The mental game is gone.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely because like you're not sitting across from Rahul, and you're not sitting across from Tord, and you're not sitting across from this. Even though you might be, you might not just know it. You just don't know it.
It's your computer, like it's very different thing a Discord message rather than like IRL playing someone. Like the atmosphere, the crowd, like the people, like it's so much more different IRL. And like for someone like me, that's what fuels me, because I used to be a competitive track athlete. So like the crowd and the energy, like you know, that's what gets me going. But sitting in my house, like here with like my headphones on, playing music and just like texting people in between rounds, being like, "Hey, I won my round," or like I'm doing good. Like it doesn't have the same feeling, because
like
during like actual tournaments, you're like zoned in, you're like pacing, you know.
Dude, when you just said that, like I got this feeling in my stomach of like being in a fucking regional, and like you went around, you go to your fucking buddies, like, yes, I got this. Like, it's just like you're fucking updating Facebook, like, hey, 1-0, boom, boom. And it's like that feeling.
You're not thinking about these distractions. You're thinking about like the event. You're in the event. You're there.
Dude,
you know?
It's so like the atmosphere is just insane. Like we take it for granted so hard, and like I can't wait to go back to our first regional. I think it's gonna be a shit show. I think you're gonna have a lot of people that are like fucking like crazy, where they're like, I can't believe you're going to a regional or some shit. But like
I think it'll come down to how they're regulating stuff.
Well,
I guess we'll get to that eventually.
I don't know. It's gonna be who knows. Like we predicted so many things, and it's just we're never right at this point.
My initial stuff is my initial like of May possibly is still like on the table. I think.
Okay, if May's on the table, when are we having Worlds this year?
I think they're not going to miss Worlds.
So how are we doing points then? You're gonna be May to August to get my points.
So I guess we can move to that topic as the next one. We can move past Players Cup and all the online stuff. Like before we move past, I guess like huge shout out to everyone who's actually organizing, who's actually putting the time in, the people who are participating. Like you guys are what's keeping the community going. I'm sorry for being absent, I guess is like the best thing I can say.
It's all right.
I've had a lot of shit going on in my life, and I've been keeping up. I've been like super proud of like everyone who's actually doing stuff. Like for example, Hegster is like one of them. That kid's, dude, Ethan's a kid, and he's like putting all that together. Like I'm so proud of these people for like,
dude,
doing stuff. Yeah, like
Yes.
and Azul for grinding day in day out. Like
I did want to bring up all that. Like, I'd like to jump into that real quick too, because I think
sure, yeah,
there is a group of people that are very thriving in this these times where you have Azul and fucking Andrew Mahone. Like, the numbers they're getting on Twitch are unseen by Pokemon, and like there's so many different. There's like tournaments every week, and people are putting them on.
There's tournaments every day.
Yeah, like it's insane. Like Pokestats and fucking, I don't know, Himberg or whatever. There's a bunch.
Limitless, Hexter. There's so
many.
And it's like Limitless even put together like a database of like all the online tournaments separately, which is I think
super dope.
Shout out to Robin. Yeah.
And like, I think friggin' what's his name just won another fucking Limitless event in a row. Pedro.
I saw that, yeah.
And it's like, I'm so out of it where like all I see is the updates of like Pedro, because like I follow Pedro and I'm like, oh shit. And then Pokestats, I follow that, I'm like, oh, like I could be getting a lot better at this game, but I choose to not do that.
This is a time where if you want to take that time to practice and get your skill level up, this is the time. Like, this is where
I called that on day one of Corona. I was like, if you suck at this game, this is the gap closer. This is your gap closer.
Like in a very non-cocky, I know my boundaries kind of way. If we go back tomorrow, I'd be fine.
Yeah,
think? I think I'd be give me like a week to refresh. Give me like 2 days with Justin and like Will. I'm good. I'm good to go.
I think I'm in the mindset of I need time, because I'm not at that, because I think locally, I think I could go to a local tournament and win. But
not my locals. Fuck my locals.
Yeah, your locals not so much. My locals, I mean, I have great players. Don't get me wrong. I think the players at my thing are great, but I think that I know it sounds so fucking cocky, and I know you motherfuckers listen to this shit, but like, I think I can compete at my locals blindfolded, but like it's just like. But when you go to a regional, it's a whole different story. It's like you don't know, and I mean
you've seen me and Sam. Like me and Sam are like prime examples of show up, pick up a deck, we can learn it as quickly as possible.
I mean,
I think like I don't know. The people who are flourishing in this are like the lesser named players who I'd really not heard of before this. That are like grinding. They're making somewhat of a name for themselves.
Yeah.
They're giving themselves that like the biggest thing for a player is confidence. Anyone can be good. Like at any given regionals, it's a fresh start. When you sit down at round one, it doesn't matter if you're me. It doesn't matter if you're Tord. It doesn't matter if you're like literally someone who has never played a regional before. We're all starting at 0-0.
Yes.
Like there is nothing separating you and me until the second round starts.
And this Corona is like, it gave you all this time to build this confidence. Like, my boy Josh, he's been coming like first or second in every fucking tournament every week, and I'm like, I keep up with him, and I'm like, he's playing the most outlandish shit I've ever seen, and I'm like, at the end of the day, like, that shit has never worked for him, but him putting in the work every week, he's just getting better, and it's like, it's insane. And like, he started Twitch, and he's streaming, and like his Twitter's popping off. I'm like, this kid's crushing it. And I'm like, it's so dope to see small content creators or people that, like, don't get me wrong, I've like from day one, Josh has taught me how to play this game, and I've told everyone that Josh is the best player in Las Vegas, and like, people just discredit him a lot, and like, I'm the person that backs him no matter what. And then I see him right now, and I'm like, and no one can say shit. Like, this fool is like first or second every week in everything he does, and I'm like, it's fucking deserved. And like, I'm so happy for him. Like, I know I don't sit here and fucking message him every day and shit, but like, I see that shit, and it's dope to see stuff like that.
Like another prime example is like Mello, Kevin. I'm pretty sure he has his Worlds invite going into this like Corona, but like Mello was like a small-ish streamer before everything. I remember hearing his name. He seems like a super nice guy, but he's been grinding. He did super good. I think Players Cup 1. I think this Players Cup he got like a super deep run as well in the second phase, and like people like Mello are like getting that chance to really show that their work can be rewarded when the meta isn't as quick, on a more secretive, everything is being hidden. People are like, when there's less of a external factor besides just hard work.
Yeah, I think I like. I mean, personally, like, I know it sounds like scumbagish, but like, I like, because I haven't been grinding, I haven't been doing this, so
Same.
so like, it's very selfish of me to say something like, I hope it doesn't turn over to live events, because like, I think your hard work is great. I'm like, personally, like, deep down, I would love to see these players that are doing so well online go into a live event and do just as well. But like, internally, sure, if I'm competing, I'm hoping they don't. You know, I hope these like jitters and stuff get back and they're not doing so well, because I don't think I had the jitters, and I feel like I play a lot better when I was playing live. And but if these people that are doing so well can just take whatever their mindset is watching or playing online and take it to a live event, like, I think it's gonna fucking turn the whole scene upside down. Like,
there'll be a whole new ball game. Like, before everything kind of happened, we had kind of a hierarchy even amongst the top 16 chasers. Like, you had the DDG group. I guess they weren't really that anymore towards the end, but like, you know, like, if I refer to that, you know who I'm talking about. The Brain Trust, for the most sense. You had the me, Jenkins, Bakari, Bradner group, and then you had like
what was it, the Cutter Tap and Gas group that was
like we had a couple of groups that kind of like for lack of better terms, these groups kind of dictated the meta, kind of dictated what was going on. But now I can't say safely that when we go back to tournaments, how many of those people will continue to grind. Like, how many of those people will still be back on the horse? A year is a long time. A lot of people's lives change. I can't safely say I'll be back to the grind.
Right.
Who am I kidding? I'm freaking addicted. But like, I can't tell you that like with a confident, like, with confidence in my face, like, my whole group will be back.
Yeah. It's crazy because like, I got a new job and shit, and like, we haven't gone to an event in a year, or more than a year almost now, and like, in my head, even at my new job, I'm setting my shit up so that I can go to events. I'm like, one day I'm going to go to these events, and so I'm going to need this time off. I'm saving all my vacation. I'm like, I need Friday, Saturdays off, so I could just take a Sunday off and be solid. And like, I'm like, in my head, it's crazy that you've set your life up to go to something like this, but like, I'm addicted. I love it. Like, the people in this community are so great. The friends I've met, like, and like, just thinking about events is like, whoa, it gives me the fucking jitters, dude. I just want to be there.
I mean, I used to travel to everything, and I don't think that'll change anytime soon. I have a lot of PTO saved up. I have the drive to go. Like, it's like the biggest thing this coronavirus time has done for me is let me save up PTO money and kind of do the things I wouldn't have had the time to do and put my time towards. And so when we go back, I can, with full confidence, be ready to go, like, 100%. Like, I can get, like, I just have to find my motivation, and we're hitting the ground running. It's as simple as that.
It's 100%. Like, we're going fucking hard. And like I don't even need to go hard, you know? I'm like fucking over halfway to my invite. It's like, I could literally just play cups and make it probably. But it's like, nah, dude, I'm going to hit it because it's not even about Pokemon. It's about the experience, you know? Yeah, we pretty much covered all the great people that are doing great things in this Corona time, which is dope. You're all appreciative.
Yeah.
But you had a big prediction here. You're thinking May, which I'm done predicting anything because, like, I'm never right.
So
if we're gonna go May, like, what are the points? How are we doing the points thing here, my buddy?
Well, I'll start with why I think it's May, and then we'll go to points.
Okay.
So Pokemon has been a company that's been, in my 10 years of playing, notoriously bad at communicating.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds right.
So we've had a lot of times where communication has been the biggest issue between players and management, and event planning and whatever. But during this time, they've actually been very, very good at that, indicating Players Cup 1 to Players Cup 2. The changes are like very like bi-month, or like like every third month update with Corona and tournament structure, especially besides their like very poor initial response in March. We have been getting very good response timings in between. We have been told that we're canceled through the end of the year, and that we'll get a month-to-month response based on areas and how the vaccine is being rolled out, which should be starting in like a week. So the reason I think that Worlds, for one, they don't plan on canceling, is because they still did their big I think they're going to be planning to make their Worlds this year, the 25th Worlds, not 25th Worlds, the 25th anniversary, a big show. I think they're going to plan on making it a spectacle. I think with the fact that other countries like Eastern Asian countries are back to normal already. That being said, they're actually able to follow protocols and stuff like that. But if the vaccine actually rolls out and things go according to plan, I don't know, like most article sites and most like accredited like journals and stuff I've read have said like my age demographic will probably receive the vaccine by like April, May. So that being said, around that time they could start planning. I'm sure they have contingency plans already in place for whenever things start looking good enough for them to host something. And I think as far as points go, initially we had that 4-day system put into place for this upcoming Worlds.
Yes.
I don't think the 4-day system will uphold.
Okay.
I think we will revert back to the 3-day typical system.
Okay.
Granted that I think the 4-day system was put into place assuming by like the end of this calendar year we would be back on the road. Things would be back to normal to an extent, like cups or something would be back into place. Thus giving players at least like 3 months to kind of like recover whatever was lost, in addition to what was going on. But I don't think we're going to start anytime before March. So that information being given, I don't think that extra day should be added, because like what are they going to do if you add the extra day? Like where are these extra points going to come from?
Yeah.
I think depending on when we actually start, if Worlds actually happens, we could very much see a invite number going down.
Okay.
By a significant margin. Considering I was looking at the leaderboards the other day, I think there's only like 50 NA players qualified. Yeah. Because a lot of players were on track. Don't get me wrong. A lot of players were on track, and I think in these last like 4 months we had remaining in the season, a lot of players would have closed that that gap to 500. But that being said, having 2 entire quarters of League Cups thrown out the window, and the entire back half of regionals, plus 2 ICs, NAIC being the biggest for North American competitors, EUIC being the second biggest for global competitors, considering Worlds is in Europe. We would have seen probably record turnout at EUIC that past year. Having all those factors thrown out the window made it so those gaps were not as filled as possible. So if we go back, say May, say we have 1 IC back on the table, say we go back in a position where we just restart where everything left off, we're back with like 3 or 4 regionals left in the season, a quarter of League Cups. Maybe they just give us a little more leeway and say like, okay, League Cup restriction lifted. We'll just have like the 8 cups be for the year, you know? Like maybe if you already have extra cups, we'll kind of like slot them back in from quarter 1, quarter 2. Highly unlikely that happens, but there's a possibility. Gives people the chance, but the most likely scenario is like the point invite like the invite value drops by 100.
Yeah, 400
across all divisions. For Europe, probably like 50, because theirs is pretty low already, I think. Something like 2017 Anaheim. That being said, I think Worlds will happen. Whether or not we'll have much of a season is to be determined, because they could very realistically lower the Worlds invite points and still conduct Worlds with the people that are currently existing. Now, what will that mean for everyone playing in the online circuits that have been getting into the past year? Not good things, because you don't have a chance to really earn that slot. But I don't know. Like I don't know. There's no like amicable solution to everything unless they implement points in online circuits, which I don't see them doing anytime soon. I think the closest we'll ever get is Players Cup, and we'll get the team tournaments that I'll hit on later. But otherwise, I don't see us ever going to an online CP era anytime soon, at the very least. And which means, like, very realistically, I could see them saying, like, okay, season's canceled, but we're still going to do Worlds.
Yeah.
Like, we'll resume at Worlds. Like, Worlds will be the kickoff point for the next year.
When did we stop last year? March?
March 15th, the weekend of Toronto.
Let's see. I think if we start up like March, April, I don't even think you need to lower the points. I think you.
If we start back in March, April, we're fine. Yeah.
Yeah, we just play like it was. Like we just.
If we start back in quarter 3 with ample time in quarter 3 to play out those cups, then I think we continue as normal. But I think the biggest factor will be whether or not we start back in quarter 3 or quarter 4, because cups are such a big margin of points for a lot of players.
I need them.
Like, I had a cup finish because I went to New York against all, like, I was selfish and I went to New York the weekend prior to everything shutting down because there was a Triple League Cup weekend, and against like all like precautions and everything, I still went up and I played, and then I came back, and then I was planning on leaving like Thursday morning to Toronto, and then I made the call on Wednesday. Like, Nico was supposed to be at my house for the full week. He literally woke up, was getting ready to leave for the airport, and decided not to go.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was crazy. I think
that the 3-day transgression of how quickly the world shut down was an indicator of what really was happening. So if we go back to a similar timeline, which I don't think is out of the realm of possibility, I think it's a low chance, but it's not out of the realm of possibility that we kick things off back in like March.
Yeah, I agree. I think especially because Biden has some plan to shut us down. I don't know. We'll find out the 20th or something. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, let's see what happens on the 20th of January.
I know Biden has like an actual lockdown plan. There's like three vaccines that have been approved.
Yeah,
I think one got rolled back for further production issues, but like.
Yeah. So I'm pretty much just chilling until I find out whatever that is. We'll go through that, and then it's like
I think we'll be back by Worlds. I think we'll be back by Worlds at the very least.
That'd be, dude. You give me so much hope, but I don't know.
I don't think they're gonna, like, at the very least. I think Pokemon will try to organize something. Like, I think they will make that effort, all things considered, to do some sort of like an invitational style bubble format event at the very least. If push comes to shove, like, I think they'll reach out to like their poster boy players like Wolf Glick, Aaron Zhang, like your Ray Rizzo, like I don't know who it is. He's like your Tord, your Azul probably. I think Azul's probably poster boy. Like, I think he'd have to, like, Pram, like they'd reach out to these guys and try to set up some sort of a like invitational style like 25th anniversary event, because they have a lot of shit planned. I can like guarantee it.
Yeah.
And I don't think they want to let all that go to waste. But considering a lot of other esports, I'm still putting us in the realm of esports, even if we're like at the bottom tier.
Yeah.
We still are. A lot of other esports and a lot of real sports, I'm not counting the NFL because their protocols are actually just dog shit. Everything else has been successfully doing their things. Like League of Legends had their Worlds. CSGO has been doing tournaments very successfully. Nobody's being infected. There's no crowds. It might have to be a Worlds where we have no open. It might have to be a Worlds where we have no spectators.
I like the no open personally. I think the open is the dumbest thing in Pokemon, period.
Sure, I don't think it'll be for the reasons we want it to be. I think it'll be like no open / like no spectators for the reasons of potential infection rates or potential spread.
Population.
It'll be like, it'll simply be a Worlds for the sake of Worlds.
I am like, so hyped for that. That would be way better than anything, I think. I
think that could happen. I think it could be a very realistic, like,
if you don't have the invite, you don't go. That would be so sick, like, actually.
That would suck for so many people.
It would suck. It would, but it's like, just like, I think it'd be
especially with
dope.
Pokemon's 25th anniversary coming around.
Yeah.
Like I know friends like personally, I like Alex Hill is like a really good friend of mine, and he'll probably end up coming to Worlds no matter where it is, just because
Yeah.
it's Worlds every year, and like this will be one of those things where you kind of can't.
Can't
Like,
go. Yeah.
and it might be something where like Pokemon, like it's a far reach to say they do something like this, but something like League and the NBA did, where like they'll get a full hotel for the players that are actually involved,
Yeah.
or require you to stay at that hotel and have their own precautions.
Yeah. I like that. I like that idea. It'd be dope.
It's dope. I don't know how feasible it is considering our event is much shorter than all of theirs.
Yeah.
But I think it's also one of those things that's not out the realm of possibility.
I agree.
If they really wanted to, they could.
Dude.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at, because like by that point, I think air travel will more than likely probably be fine with the amount of vaccines and stuff that have been given.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm seeing plenty of people travel already by air, like especially this holiday season. So like, yeah, like I drove for like a friend's wedding a while back, and like I was pretty like, I was like, no, only stopping for gas, like kind of thing. So like, and like the whole wedding was just like done in like like a hotel room chapel kind of thing, like,
Right.
and we just like rented out a big hotel room and just got drunk.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. I think I like that idea. I actually, when you bring that up, I'm like, because you hear a lot of players like, I wish there was less people in the event and blah blah blah. But I really, personally, I think if you just took all the spectators and all the like people that are just playing in the open and stuff out of the scenario, I think that people would like it more, even if it was still like 1,000 players. But if it was just that 1,000 players, I think people would be like, all right, this feels more prestige.
It's cool. I mean, like, I think spectators will always add an element of like fun to it in a way, not like open players, but like the spectators themselves.
Yeah.
But like, I think for the sake of like being safe, like one of the best options would be simply to like day one competitors go, like all competitors maybe are eligible to attend the opening ceremony. Post opening ceremony, if you're not playing, get the fuck out. And then like day one competitors, as you get eliminated, you're donezo. You don't get to come back to the venue or whatever. Like, kind of like the venue is only for players, and everything else outside of the tournament itself is like at your own risk, because that's not under Pokemon's liability.
Yeah, I think if you get invited and you go through all the precautions, you can stay at the event. You know, if you go to the fucking event and then you get quarantined for whatever time, you have to get fucking quarantined or whatever it is. Just like the UFC does that shit. They're doing all their shit.
Or like get vaccinated, or like by that point,
it is.
By that point, like if you can show papers that you've been vaccinated or something
just
like that.
Like I think you can have the world's experience, which is dope.
This might, but given Pokemon's tendency and their pattern to want big worlds, and especially with the 25th anniversary rolling around, I don't know how feasible the two things can combine. Yeah, because like it seems like they've got big things planned. They like flashed the logo at the Macy's parade this year. They've been talking about it. Like I think in the Macy's parade they even talked about like how big things are going to come for next year's anniversary. Pokemon's anniversary is in February, however, so the commercial aspect of it will probably start blowing up then.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that kind of rolls over. I assume Pokemon Center will have a lot of like merch and stuff like that, and I expect it to be very commercial. My wallet's probably going to hurt like a bitch. So
yeah, Pokemon's blowing up too. It's like
and the reason I think May is also because like I don't know how much you've read about the team store challenges at all or whatever.
I haven't like dove into it, but I definitely want to talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So for me, I saw the news. And the TLDR of what it is, the article can be found on Pokemon.com. You guys can find it. I'm sure Zach will probably
link it.
Yeah. Basically, you can look for your local stores who are participating, and the store is supposed to hold a qualifier. Now, the qualifier can be done online, in person, whatever the store deems. So Pokemon has already been given the green light to let stores do what they want, because stores are already doing what they want. Like, clearly this is already being held in person. Like, stores are already doing whatever the fuck they want. Like, like a lottie fucking da kind of thing. Like what is it to Pokemon? So this is Pokemon's way of helping stores out by giving free product and mats and an incentive for stores to hold 4 individual qualifiers to select 4 individuals to represent them in the online store challenge in April or May, whenever like that deadline hits. So minimum all you need is 4 players, and your store needs to organize it, and they have to set up a Discord. They have a bunch of channels they have to go through. Um, and once you qualify, you're one of the 4 participants. Only 3 play though, so like you have like 3 and a sub basically, because it's going to span over multiple weeks. And the deeper you go, players will get free product. The store gets free product, and you get mats. Like it's not much, but it's a way for Pokemon to let stores survive during this time, to keep their local player base happy.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool because this is something Pokemon has like never done for stores.
Yeah, I agree. But at the end of the day, I also like. I hate that
it's not incredibly competitive now.
It's not even that it's incredibly competitive. It's that like you're gonna be put onto a team that like you might not want to be on. You know? It's like usually I play with X players, but now I gotta play with this fucker. You know, it's like, and how long? Like 10 weeks or some shit too. And it's like I have to work with whoever, you know. But
yeah, I think the idea is like for locals to kind of get a chance to compete on a bigger scale and also have a reason to continue playing, right? Like what reason do people have right now to play at all? Like there isn't any to play, and like I know people are fiending to go back to their local game stores. The TCG is at an all-time hype because of like all these like big influencers opening cards and shit like that. Like
yes, I think it's like
I wouldn't be shocked like if things start coming back, we see like an appearance by like Logan Paul or like one of these guys at an event. Like not out of the realm of possibility. Like when Worlds happens, there's like a high chance Pokemon reaches out to these people because Pokemon has always been known to work with content creators. Yeah, and like we could see them actually show up to Worlds or like national or an IC or something, and like that'd be pretty dope. I mean, like I'm not a fan of these people particularly, but like
I am.
Be dope.
But like, I think a lot of these people don't even have any idea about the competitiveness of this game, and like if they go to a big event and they see how like insane it is, they might just be like, I want to be involved.
I disagree simply because when I went to this is like a fun anecdotal story. So I went to Dota Worlds back in, or TI as they called it, back in 2015 because I did not qualify for our Worlds that year, and TI and Pokemon Worlds happen usually similar like timing. Mm-hmm. So I went with high school friends all the way to Seattle, spent a week there. It was super fun, and I was through some friends I made. I ending up in VIP.
Okay.
And in one of the team rooms, and I was talking to some of the players, so obviously I'm like fangirling here and there. I'm talking to them, and like a majority of them knew competitive Pokemon. Like they knew TCG. I was thinking they were talking about VGC in particular. No, they were literally talking to me about TCG and how like they watch Worlds when it comes on. They'll watch regionals here and there. Like Pokemon is a lot bigger than like people give it credit for. And we're not outside of the public's eye. It's just simply a shame that due to TPC Japan's restrictions, we can't branch out in the ways we'd like to.
Yeah, I think, but I also think if you go to an event and you're in that atmosphere, it's different. You know?
Yeah. Like you might fall in love with it. It's as simple as that. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Imagine like Ludwig or Logan Paul or one of these like big influencers that's been opening cards. Shows up to an event and vlogs it. Like I think I might be wrong on this. Like I might be misspeaking entirely, but I think like Dallas Regionals was one of the first like big events that A Drive showed up to.
Yeah,
this past year. And he vlogged the experience. He talked about how he played VGC, and he like talked about how he like fell in love with it and like like the competitive aspect of it because he's been like a content creator forever. He's been a staple of the VGC community. But like A Drive going and performing, I think he did decently well too. Like it was simply just like really cool for people to see.
Yeah. And like it only makes it better for us as a whole.
Like it's cool.
Just getting eyeballs on eyeballs on the competitive scene would be insane. And like even after Pokemon took over streaming, it was so VGC favored that it was like it felt bad. I know. But
VGC draws in numbers for viewership.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for the player base, it's kind of ass.
Yeah.
Like Dallas was their biggest event in a very long time, and that was 500 competitors, a little under 500. And then Collinsville, which was the sister regional, like almost like a month later, dropped by half.
I wonder why.
It's just because like a lot of people can't justify buying the game or the entry fee being the same as the price of the game.
Yeah.
That's the gripe. And also, like, when it comes to team building and all that stuff, it's like you look at it and then you just free. Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, I don't fucking know what's going on. Like, you can copy and steal a team. Yeah, sure.
You still can't use it. Yeah.
It's not like TCG where like, okay, I think both games have a high like skill ceiling, but VGC has more out of game skill ceiling.
Yeah, and I think VGC is really prediction based and like it's repetition and just knowing that what the best move is and the most common move is so much. You have such an advantage. Yeah. Where like
it's a testament to like, so Wolfie is like one of my closest friends in the entire like world. And Wolfie, he's like he's been moving and doing a bunch of stuff with his life recently. He lives near me, so like I talk to him quite frequently. Yeah. So he hasn't been putting his all into VGC besides content making. And content making is not necessarily like being competitive.
Correct. Yeah.
But then for Players Cup 2, he sat down like one evening, hunkered down, clean swept into the top 16 bracket. Yeah. And that's just a testament to like experience usually triumphs all in a weird way. Like,
I agree.
Like, yeah, that's why like I don't know, like VGC seems so cool to get into, but like at the same time, I look at the regionals and I look at who's participating, and I'm like, this is basically like day 2 of Worlds. Yeah. Like because nobody else really wants to play, like unless.
You have to
get good.
Yes.
They also have like really shitty money and kicker points, which is like another like deterrent to the game.
That's rough.
I think I saw someone win a regionals and get like 1,500, and I was like,
rough, dude.
I'm really glad you got a little like you got something back.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I can top 32 and get my plane ticket back.
Yeah, but they also don't have to buy cards, which is kind of dope.
They also win cards, which is funny as shit.
That is hilarious. But sure, but
they don't. Yeah.
Let's go back to the player. The team challenge thing.
Yep.
When I look at that, I think it's a good idea. I think it's a very fun concept.
Yeah.
Does it do anything for us, like in the long run? No. But I think it's just a fun event. I think I will participate. I think it's really cool that you can only pick one store. That makes it actually kind of competitive. You can't go, all right, I'm going to take the top 16 players, put them at one store, 4 of them are going to win, and then we'll take the rest of them, go to a different store, 4 of them are going to win. No, if they all go to one store, only 4 of them can win, you know? So you have to be very strategic on what store you pick and shit, which is dope. There's no, like, if you overstack a store, you're just SOL. You don't even get to play, you know?
I mean, I already know who's participating in my store, and it's going to be a couple of top 16ers.
Exactly. So you have what? If you have 5 top 16ers, and
I have John and Will, I think, in my store.
Yeah. So like you got that, and then you have, dude, everyone has their local hero that always comes through once in a while. So then he already knocks one out, and then it's just like, all right, well, if we fuck this up. I like my locals. I think we only have 2 stores, so it's like. But the problem is, I think we only have like 8 people in Vegas that play online. Period. Yeah. So it's like, all right, 4 and 4. That's literally what it's gonna end up being because no one else even plays online. And I don't know. I haven't even been playing online, which is I looked at yesterday. I'm like, I'm gonna play. I'm like, God, I don't want to pay for these cards. Like it's so hard for me to justify like getting the new Jirachi for 16 packs, which is basically $16.
Yeah, I need that.
And I'm like, I gotta pay like $45 for fucking fake cards. It's like I don't really want to do that, but if I want to play, I need to. I don't know. It is what it is, but we'll see. I think.
I mean, with online stuff becoming more and more common, like. It's like a now or never. Like you have to build an account, or you're kind of gonna be left behind.
Yeah, I feel bad for Sam because he was literally about to jump in hard. He messaged me like I seen him at a cup the week before COVID hit.
Yeah, he went to both cups. He went to Vegas and like SoCal.
I went to SoCal. He didn't end up going to Vegas. He was going to, but then COVID hit. But I went to SoCal, met Sam there. We were all fucking talking. He's like, dude, I hit up a rule. We're getting the boys together. I got an online account. We're gonna do this. And I'm like, sounds good, dude. Boom, nothing. And like,
yeah, I was like full motivation swing. Like I had been talking to Will, like Jenks, and Justin, like Bach and Sam. Like the three of us were like finally grinding in. Like for the first time in my life, I had more than 2 decks fully built. I had 6 decks. Like I had like every good deck from OCIC built, like ready to go. Like where all I had to do was like swap out supporters and like nations, and I was like fucking vibing. And then
and like
I'm just like,
with me, like I got like 3 or 4 local people hit me up and was like, dude, I'm serious. Like I want to take this serious. We're gonna go all in. We went to our first cup like as a group. I'm like, dude, I finally got like people that actually care locally, and like we're gonna put something together. And like then I kind of have the best of both worlds. Like I have local group, but then like if I like I have an advantage. I can hit up Sam. I can hit up you. I could pretty much hit up anyone. Like doing this podcast has given me like outlets to hit up anyone, which is like, it's such a, like people are like, oh, you're not that good. I'm like, dude, I have a little advantage over a lot of people, which is I'm not scared to take advantage. It's not like they're gonna coach me for free, but they will go, well, I think this is the best. Like, or here's my skeleton. Boom. And I'm like, dude, like that is just such an advantage. Like I don't need much. Like just give me an idea.
I mean, you've heard me explain decks to Sam. Like I wouldn't like to tout my, like I'm not gonna like say I'm like one of the better coaches in the game, but like holy shit, I'm good at explaining decks.
Right? It's like if you have not sat in a room with real competitive players during a regional, you don't understand. You're not at that level and you don't understand. Like
there's so much yelling.
Yeah, the first time I really experienced it was like Utah. I was in a room with Sam, Simon, and Pablo, and they're like, all right, we're gonna play test, and like just being in the room, I was like, I got a million times better at Pokemon than I've ever got in my life. I was like, it is insane. And then I went to fucking NAIC with you guys, and that just is like, it's crazy just sitting in that testing area and like being involved with those players. Like, dude, the people in that room is just insane. You're just like, oh, like
that's why for me, like the last 24 hours before an event are always the most crucial, because so many things change. It's not like if you talk to me like 2 days before an event or a week before the event, I'm not lying to you when I tell you where my thought process is. I'm not lying to you when I tell you something is going on. But in that last 24 hours, so many things change so rapidly that I'm moving faster than I can think a lot of the time.
And like, dude, I went to the NAIC. I stayed in the room with all those people. I tested with those people. And then Drew Bennett played Blissey, and I said, okay. And he's not even in my room. He's not in nothing. And I'm like...
And then we all fucking played Baby Blondes.
Yes, you guys all are stupid. That's the reason I was fucked. I was so fucked. I was so fucked because everybody jumped on Baby Blondes. I played the deck twice. I lost on first. I got donked twice, and I'm like, I cannot play this, guys. And everyone was just on it. And I'm like,
every loss I had was like a donk virtually.
Yeah.
Every loss I had was a donk virtually. Like the deck was one of the. It was just Fire Greninja at the end of the day. Like it was one of the best decks in the game at the time, and I won't disagree with that. It's just it felt so bad when you lost because you never lost in a good way. I still got points, but like 2 of my ties were like me getting donked and then like a long game one.
Yeah, and like I don't know. I just have a bias towards Drew. Where if Drew hits me up with a deck, I already know it's tested. And it could win. It's not like it is something crazy. It's always something crazy, but I know it's not stupid. Like I'm not gonna go out there and just lose. I have a chance to win, and which I'm always down. But yeah, it's just a different world out there when you get really involved in the competitive scene. You level up. Like it's just a second step. So we'll see that going into the Players Cup or the the team thing. I think the team thing will be fun. I'm not sure how competitive it will get. I hope that the people that I'm playing with all qualify for the same store. It'd be dope. If not, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so the team thing is like we said, a very nice Pokemon stopgap way of helping stores out during this time, which I really appreciate them doing, and it's very cool that they are. But besides that, I mean, like...
Is that all we got? Are they going to do anything else? Or we're just going to ride this team thing out for... Okay.
I mean, the team thing is slated to go till like April, May, and I have connections, so I usually hear about things much quicker.
Yeah.
So I knew about the team thing before the announcement, and I was like, okay, seems cool. We'll see the reception from the community. Unfortunately, I had deactivated socials during that time, so I didn't really see what the fuck happened with the community, but I think it was a positive reaction.
It was a positive reaction other than why get local stores involved, but it is. I don't think people cared too much. It was more like, okay, sure, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
I mean,
so before we wrap it all up, I kind of want to hit more on how big Pokemon's blown up with all these people opening shit and the pricing of everything. Like, I think it's insane. I think it's fucking nutty. And I think it all started from Gary V. Gary V went all in on Pokemon. I'm a big
follow.
Yeah, I watch Gary V. I listen to him. I think he's very motivational. I think the way he speaks,
some of the stuff, yeah.
He's very blunt.
Face.
Yeah, he's very blunt.
Yeah, it's very slapping. Yeah.
He cusses a lot, which, like, I know a lot of people that, or I wouldn't say a lot of people. There's groups of people that watch this podcast and don't understand why I cuss, and I think it really stems from listening to him for a while. That, like, I'm not trying to be fake. Like, for me to sit here and just, like, I'm not sitting here trying to cuss every time, but I'm not gonna, like, pretend not to cuss, you know. And I don't want, like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to say a cuss word, and I like it just is what it is. And to sit here and pretend that I'm a perfect person and I never cuss, and I feel like that's just so fake. So let's just. I have taken in consideration to try cuss less because there are people that just don't like it, and it is what it is. But yeah, I think he's really blunt, and he went in on sports cards 2 years ago, and he said he invested like over $1 million in sports cards, and he found real good success in that. But then he looked at Pokemon and was like, the money there could be a lot better. And the reason is, in sports cards, you get a rookie card. It starts at like $200. You know, you invest $200 in this rookie card. You buy 100 of them. That rookie gets injured, you're out your money. You know who doesn't get injured, Rahul? Charizard. Charizard doesn't get injured. He never gets hurt. He only gets more popular. It just never. There's no downfall. And, like, when he said that, I was like, he's so right. It's insane. It just, there is no, like, Charizard is not cool anymore. Nope, he's always going to be there. There's nothing. Like, I don't think that you couldn't do anything to make Charizard not cool or not popular.
Base thing that before this boom even happened, a simple, like, fact of knowledge that I knew from trends, because I'm an economist. My area of interest is data analytics. So a lot of what I do in life is very data driven, is very statistics and number driven. I'm not a very much like go with your gut kind of guy. I'm a very much I need to see numbers. I need to see proof. Once in a while, I'll make a stupid decision, obviously, because I'm a kid.
That's what
like, for the most part, a lot of Pokemon card boxes, sealed product especially, usually has about a 5-year gestation period. And once that 5 years hits, usually you'll see a spike of some sort. Especially, even if it's not a money set, even if it's not a set where it's, like, obvious that, like, a Zard is in the set, or, like, a Mewtwo, or, like, hollows of some specific kind. In 5 years, every box, to an extent, will spike. Doesn't matter what it is, it'll spike in some form, like shape, way, or form. Usually it's like a 400 to 500% return on the MSRP, usually because they'll get short stocked and put out of print. So older product gets more and more valuable as time goes. That being said, starting with like Cosmic and Sun and Moon and some of those sets, they were super overprinted. That does not mean that that same thing won't happen. It may take a little bit longer, but it'll still inevitably happen. Now, what's happening right now is Pokemon has been short printing because stores have short printed orders due to Corona. And with that happening, a lot of scalpers that are not part of our community have been hitting up things. Like, for example, one of my military friends who lives here, he's like the collector guy that I talk to for everything I need. If I need to borrow cards, whatever, because usually he buys everything. So sometimes I don't need to buy cards. Like for OCIC, I couldn't get enough copies of Zacian and stuff for myself and a couple other people, so I needed to borrow stuff from him. Like he's my guy. He's my go-to guy. He always buys like a King 2. So he is in like a lot of baseball card and other groups. They have like people that are like waking up at like 7 a.m. when Target restocks and going there and buying cards. Like I went last Friday to pick up something for like I went to go pick up like some protein shakes because I was out and some other things for my family. And when I went out to Target, I went at like, I don't know, like 4 p.m. when I was kind of off work. And I went to the Pokemon card aisle to see what was there. There was like 2 blisters of Vivid Voltage, and like everything else was completely cleaned out. Like it's actually absurd what's going on.
Yeah.
The fact that like Pokemon had to put out a statement and then restock Champions Path ETBs, limiting it to 2 per address.
Yeah. I think it's crazy because like as a company, like even someone else who's really thriving that I don't think we mentioned was Danny from
Danny Phantom.
Yeah, he's thriving because
I've been watching a lot of his.
It's genius.
So
he's a genius. It's been so long. He did DDG for so long, but he took his knowledge that he really has and he's put it public, and like it's such a smart thing, and he's thriving, and I love it. And I think like before he put that stuff out, I was the one asking him questions and stuff, you know. So
he's like so smart. He's such a business-minded guy. But when it came to doing DDG, that endeavor didn't work out because it was a little bit too big for his britches. Yeah. But his card knowledge and product knowledge is like one of the most unmatched things I've ever
like heard. The time he's taken, because he's done the podcast, he's done YouTube for like so long. When he went into this YouTube channel, like he was already there. He was ready. Like his talking, everything's so good. But like even watching his videos, he talks about how like if he puts anything on his website that is like at retail price, it gets bought by bots automatically, basically. So it's like,
and like that's been a very like common problem. Like for example, the Vivid Voltage stuff on Pokemon Center went up. And I think within 15 minutes, I went to go look, and it was already sold out. World's Deck, same thing.
It's a bad thing for buyers, but like as a business, like it almost couldn't be better. You know, like if you're just in this to make money, like the money is there to be made now, because it's like if I put this up, a bot buys it like automatically. I know, like morally. Especially because Danny's talked about this. Morally, he doesn't like that. He doesn't like that someone's just scalping all the product. But business-wise, I think it can't get better. You know,
it's going to create an artificial bubble that will eventually burst. The problem is, when will it burst? What will be the bursting point? And how bad will the damage be?
Yeah.
I think that being said, you can ride that bubble. I think riding it right now and flipping product for cheap is very smart. If you want to get into the game, if you want to build capital. But I think selling any sealed product right now is a gigantic mistake.
Yeah, you think?
I think selling sealed product you buy now. So if you buy like a Champions Path ETB and you want to flip it for like 25 value bonus, I wouldn't.
No?
Well, I would just hold.
Yeah, you think it'll go up? I think I don't know.
I think holding sealed product for 5 to 10 years, like unless you really, really need the money to continue going, there is no reason. It's the same as stocks. Like I bought into Tesla at the beginning of Corona. I put in almost like 3K into Tesla. I'm up 60%, 160%.
Yeah.
I don't have to pull out.
Yeah.
Why do I need to pull out?
Yeah.
Like it's the same with ETBs and stuff. Like I could have pulled out the first day they spiked.
Yeah.
You don't need to pull out. There's no reason to pull out.
Yeah,
Like unless you need the money. Like eventually this is product that doesn't ever go below a certain value. So you're gonna make a profit no matter what. It's just what margin of profit are you gonna make?
Correct.
Are you willing to sit it out and wait? It's a gambling game at the end of the day. Do you need the money right now? Yeah, go for it if you do. But if you don't, sit, wait. For a big example I know is Ryan Sablehouse, who just sold like all his like Flash Fire and like Legendary Treasures boxes that were worth like $60 back in the day for like 800 each, and he just like got an engagement ring. Right. So like, one of those days is gonna come up. We're all not gonna be kids forever. Like a lot of us are getting to that age where like marriage is coming up, like getting your own car, your own place, like all these things are on the table. These are big down payments on something. These are big capital investments on something in the future. Like you want to invest, you don't want to just buy assets all the time.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's smart. I think I cashed out. I had like a set of hollows from base set to jungle, or base set, jungle, and fossil. I had all the hollows. I actually had every Pokemon from each set. They're beat. They were super beat, and like still, I put on eBay and still sold them for. I paid like $80 for them, and like some. I don't need to say exactly how much I made, but it was definitely crazy. Like
individual cards, I say just fucking get rid of them. Like right now, like there's no better boot time. Like it's the same where like early Corona old decks were booming, and people had like old cards. Like that boom died very quickly. Yeah, but like buyouts were happening, stuff was happening. When that's happening, and you have product, you have to crash the market. Like it's either you feed into the monopoly or like you hold and wait till the monopoly eventually floods the market. Because when they flood the market, they'll make the market.
Yeah, I think
so. You have to beat the flood.
No. Yeah, that's the question. Even with like Evolutions is probably the biggest example of like the dumbest thing, because like that box is going for like $800 to like $1,000, but the best card you can get out of it is a Charizard that's $50 on TCG Player right now. So it's like you have to look at shit at the end of the day, like. Wait, especially if you're a buyer. If you're a buyer, like if you're selling the fucking box, sure. But if you're buying that box, I don't know what you're doing. I really don't know.
For someone like me, anything I find right now, if I want to make a quick buck, sure. But if not, it's just gonna sit.
Yep.
It's just gonna sit in a box. Wait.
Nope.
I like my ETBs came in today, my 2 Champions Path ones, because I said why not? They stocked them. I'll order 2. I'm stupid, so I cracked mine. But also, I'm not stupid because I got a shiny Zard.
Yes. Like I think if you. Because even in Champions Path, like, there's only one card. But that one card matters in that one.
Yeah, it's a chase set. It's not It's not
even a chase set. It's a one-card set. Like, I guess there's 2. There's 2.
2 Zards.
Because, like, I opened product blister packs of that, and I'm like, didn't get the Charizards.
Everything else sucks.
Yeah, I got a bunch of shit. Like, full arts and shit, and I looked at the price. I'm like, this is $1. All these are $1. I'm like, I didn't even make my money back.
I Dreadnought. I was like, what the hell is Dreadnought?
Yeah, like the best card I got, they all suck. And I'm like, I got one. I didn't make my money back. I'm like, opening this product is so not worth it, in my opinion. I just wouldn't open that shit. I think selling the sealed shit is so much better.
Correct.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. That's where the state of TCG is. Like, I think if you're like an investor, or like if you're a kid that has, like if you're someone who has capital, this is a time where you can buy and hold. If you can get your hands on stuff, buy and flip. It's a time to make quick money, quick, easy money, which is like you never have that opportunity.
No.
So like this is probably the best opportunity you have to make quick, easy money if you have capital. If you know someone who's good at that, I would rather trust them. And like if you have the money, just invest in that person, give them a cut, let them do their work.
Right.
Like, a lot of the time, these people want to do it because they want to get that repertoire of moving into the business.
Right.
But that's kind of what Danny used to do. Like Danny used to like hustle for people.
Yeah.
So like this is a very similar example. Like if you want to earn trust, put it into one person. Like put it into one of your local guys. Put it into like your man. Like
I think I don't know. I think if you have the mindset and you want to get into this business, I think go for it. I think right now is the best time to go for it because I think it's easy. But you have to realize it won't be like this forever. It won't, like if you start a website and you're like, I put something up, and it's gone.
I mean, the easiest thing to do is like make a TCG Player store for now, and like kind of build up whatever you have, and then eventually down the line, like it's a very non-committal way to do things.
Yes.
So yeah, like buy collections, look for collections.
I think the place I'm going to eventually hit is I'm gonna start breaking boxes. I think
box breaks are good.
I think box breaks is something that's, I mean, it's been hit, but I don't think it's been hit hard. And I think people enjoy watching cards being opened, and I want to jump into that world. So
sure,
I think that's where I'm going to jump into. I'm hopefully I jump into it before this shiny set comes out, because I think that's really going to be the time to do it. But we'll see. But overall, I think it's only put more eyes on Pokemon, even though Pokemon's always been like the biggest thing in the fucking universe.
Yeah, we actually recently took #1 from Hello Kitty.
Yeah, which is nuts. But I think it's dope. I like it. It sucks to think like I've been involved in Pokemon for
1 second.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm back. Sorry, the alarm sometimes just like randomly goes off because it's been windy the last couple days.
No worries. I was just saying, like, it kind of sucks to be like someone that's been in the Pokemon scene for the last like 4 to 5 years, and it's like I could have picked up these cards, you know?
Yeah,
I could have stacked 100 base set Charizards easy for like $30 each or some shit at some point.
It's all about patience. Like any investment game is all about patience, and like the people who were smart enough to hold and keep their capital were able to do something with it. I've always known about the patience thing, but as a college kid, I didn't have capital.
Yes.
I now have it, so I'm willing to actually invest in stuff because like I have the money. It's just sitting there. I'm staying at my parents' place. I have no realistic expenses besides like eating out like food. So like, why not?
Why not? Yep. I think it's smart. I like it. I think we got a lot of eyes on us, and I hopefully it stays that way. And I think a lot of people have decided it's going to stay that way, which is like really what it matters about when you have people that are willing to spend that much money on stuff and they believe it's going to be worth. It usually pans out when it's that large of a group. Like Chum is one of those guys who has these vintage boxes that, like, when we started Sacker Scoop, he bought these vintage boxes in like the thought that like once we get to a certain amount of subscribers, I'm gonna open this, I'm gonna open that, and like I'm so happy that our YouTube did not like get to like 100K, because he's now sitting, like, he bought these boxes for $600-700, and now he's sitting on boxes that are like 20 grand, and it's like it's fucking mind blowing. He's like, wait, how much is that? I'm like, good thing we didn't fucking open that dumb thing. good thing we weren't as popular as we thought we were gonna be.
Cash money, dude.
Yeah, it's dope. And like, he's, I don't know, he's someone with the capital that has a shit ton of cards, and like, as something that was just like a fucking fun for him, he now looks at it like, oh fuck, all right, I'm in this for like sealed product, dude. Sealed product's where it's at, and we're gonna have fun with it. It's dope. Yeah, I think we touched pretty much on the last 7 months of Pokemon, which is,
I mean,
it's not competitive, but it's like, it's crazy how much Pokemon has become mainstream and fun to watch. And
yeah, if you go on like Twitch right now, like there's so many big names, Ludwig.
It's not, it's not even big names. It's crazy. Like, I watch GTA streams a lot, and this guy, he averages like 2K to 5K people, and he opened a first edition fucking Team Rocket box last Saturday, and he got.
Okay, if you go to Pokemon trading card game right now, there's 2K people, and it's just a bunch of people box breaking.
Yeah, and like he got 15K watching that opening, and like he usually has like 5 to 7,000 subscribers. He's at 10K subscribers now off of one fucking opening. It's like
Jesus.
people just love. But I've always said that even when we were doing YouTube. I'm like, the views are always in the openings. It's always been in the openings. That's just how it is, and people love to watch opening. It's like gambling. It's literally gambling.
It's literally just gambling without you putting the investment.
Gambling on art. Like that's literally what it is. And like people love it. I love it. Like I catch myself watching people open packs all the time. I'm like,
I'll skip through videos just because they're funny.
Yes. I like especially when you see people that are like big YouTubers doing it. I'm like, I gotta at least see the reaction because I know how I would react, and I'm like, are you on the same level as me? You are. This is dope.
I thought I'd have a bigger reaction when I got the shiny Zard today. I just looked at it and I was like, nice.
Right? Dude, I think about that shit too. Like, how am I going to react?
I literally threw it into a top loader because like the quality is actually pretty decent.
Oh, dude, fuck you. That shit's so dope. That shit's so dope.
You're just gonna send it in to get graded so it becomes like a 2K card.
Yeah, and like I've been looking at my old cards and shit, and like I collected Dragonites, and like I have almost every Dragonite card, and like I started looking at how much they're worth now, and I'm like, this is fucking crazy. Like,
yeah, I know.
I paid like $2 for this, and now it's like $200. I'm like, I'm just gonna chill, but
yeah, like it's nuts. It's
it
nuts.
Is.
Like one of these days I have to sit down and like go through my entire and see like what's like viable to just get rid of right now and like make a quick buck. But I'm lazy, and I've also been like a lot's been going on. So
yeah, we'll see. I hope it just stays how it is.
Yeah. We'll keep the bubble going as long as we can.
Yeah, and I mean, this podcast will be going for a year. I guaranteed it, and we'll just keep talking about it. It is.
I mean, the shiny V set also comes out like.
I can't wait. February.
Like,
oh my god.
Seems like every set from here on out seems like a banger money set.
Do you feel like Pokemon's doing this? Because like I look at Vivid Voltage and competitively wise, that set is horrible. Literally nothing in it.
They've been very nice to us. The ADP battle deck, the Pikarom battle deck.
Oh yeah, yes. I mean, like giving us cards, that's fine. But I'm talking like when I look at Vivid Voltage, it's like the first time
they're
in like
gearing up for something fucking big for the 25th anniversary.
That's why I'm like,
the 20th anniversary. They did those like legendary blisters, if you remember those.
Yeah, yes.
So they're gearing up for something on that scale, if not bigger, in my opinion. There's going to be mass product dumps. There's going to be mass merch dumps. There's going to be some
Pokemon's not stupid. It's going to be dope.
They know what they're doing. They already advertised the logo. The first instant logo is the Macy's parade, one of the most naturally televised things. Like, I guarantee you get another Super Bowl ad.
Yes.
It's going to be a year led by merchandise. So this year is a bubble year.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the sets will be because like. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I look at Vivid Voltage and I do not see archetype. I do not pull a full archetype out of Vivid Voltage and go. But like, if you look at the past sets, I think almost every set had some type of archetype. Like, you had fucking what is it? Tea Party fucking deck and
Party,
this. Yeah. I mean, you just had stuff that were like, okay, this card looks good, goes with this card. Boom. Like. But when I look at Vivid Voltage, I'm like, there's a Jirachi. That's okay. That like literally after that, I'm like, why would I buy this? It's like, oh, because you want the amazing rares. That's what. Like, just give me one of each amazing rare and just sit on that shit. That's literally what I look at that thing and go, that's what we got. Dude, you know what I wish was more popular? Full art trainers. I wish they had the value that they deserve.
Full art trainers are like very, very, for some reason, very not hot. Like,
people don't like.
Full art trainers are very cheap,
they like Pokemon. They like people. The collector side just likes Pokemon. I'm like,
or like big titty full arts. Like
yes.
That's about it.
That's it.
Yeah,
but
other than that, it's like
But I hope. I don't know. I mean, I think collecting's cool and everything, but I really hope that we get. They don't just fucking go here's collection fucking set over and over again. Because, like, obviously, February we're getting the shinies. I expect to get one card, like the Ditto, out of it for competitive. Other than that, probably nothing. And I just hope I mean, they don't stir us wrong too much, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, dude, that's all I got. I think we touched everything. You got any shout outs? I know you're pretty clean slate now. You're solo dolo, which is dope. I think
I guess I can like touch on like my personal life stuff a little bit and then drop sponsors. So I mean, like, obviously Corona's been hitting everyone differently, so I'll take a moment to like talk about mental health in general.
Okay.
'Cause I don't think like anyone's been completely okay.
No.
So like everyone's been going through a lot, like especially our age demographic in general has been like a lot of our like in your 20s they tell you to just go, and where are we going? Like getting a fucking year taken away from us is a lot in the grand scheme of things. So like everyone's kind of lost motivation. Everyone's kind of been trying to figure out their day to day. So like, I don't know, be kind to people. Like I see a lot of negativity on social media, staying off, but like be kind to people. If like someone is happy about something, like whether it be like a poll, whether it be like a silly pet picture or something, just you don't have to say something bad. You don't have to say anything positive. Just you don't have to say something stupid. Just don't say some stupid shit, dog. Like just keep moving. Like if like gas your friends up. Like let them know you're there. I've been incredibly terrible at keeping in touch with all my friends.
Right.
But it's okay to kind of thing. Started working out. That's been my thing. My like go-to like therapy basically. Also been going to therapy. So 2 for 1. I don't have any shout outs for sponsors because I pretty much dropped everybody. Not because I think I'm like too big for my sponsors or whatever. It's just like there's nothing going on right now. So I don't see a reason to be sponsored by them, by anybody. And also like, I don't know, like like I said, a part of me always has to feel like there's some expectations I have to live up to as a player and as a person as well. But I'm kind of shedding that because like I want to play and I want to play for the fact that I enjoy the game and the competitiveness of it. I want to play for myself. I want to be selfish.
I like it.
I want to play because I want to win, not because I have to please my sponsors or please everyone else. Like I want to play because I want to fucking win. That's literally it.
I like it.
And I mean, that's what's keeping me from, like, I'm not going to walk away till I win, basically. Like, that's kind of like what's keeping me here. But yeah, so I guess my only shout outs are like my social medias, Twitter, Facebook, like all that stuff is down there. I make TikToks, but you probably don't want to watch them. They're really cringy.
Dude, you showed up on my For You page. I think I sent you. I was like, what the fuck? But it was the funniest fucking, because I knew the reference, I knew what it was from, and I thought it was the funniest shit in the world.
The Tyler the Creator one?
No, it was the You're Mad.
Oh yeah, that was
dude, I knew the reference. Like, if you didn't know the reference, like if random people read that, it's just whatever. But when I see that, I fucking died inside. I was laughing so fucking hard. Like, it was the greatest shit ever.
I can use my social medias more just to kind of be like more positive and like try to make a difference. People's days, whatever I can. So been super positive. You guys can add me on Snap if you ever need to talk or whatever. You can DM me on any social media platform. I can't guarantee I'll give the best advice, but I can guarantee I'll listen. And that's the most I can do for anyone because I know no one's okay right now. So I hope everyone's being safe during this holiday season. I hope if you are going to see your family or whatever, do it responsibly. I know a lot of people are living alone and don't have that, like, they're making that tough decision. Just fucking go home, man. Like, I know it's irresponsible, but just fucking go home. Like, just do it. Like, I don't know, just go do it. But wear your mask, wash your hands, be responsible, be respectful. And as long as you don't have parents or like significantly close people that are at risk, you'll be okay. Like, just do it. Like, I'm fortunate enough to live with my family and my grandmother, so like we're all here. Like, there's nothing that I could need that isn't here for me.
Right.
But a lot of people don't have that. Yeah. So don't wrestle with that idea. Don't kick yourself over it. Just do what you think is best for you, even if sometimes it be a little bit irresponsible. That doesn't mean go out and fucking party. That doesn't mean like throw a house party. Like, that doesn't mean throw a New Year's party with like 80 of your closest friends. Like, if it's like you and like the 2 or 3 people you're in contact with a lot of the time, sure, that's fine. Like grab a bottle of champagne, throw on the New Year's ball on the TV, and have a nice little like order a pizza, like fucking go wild, go hog wild. Like, but I don't want to see some like fucking like 80-person house party or some shit, and then like you posting on Twitter being like, I have corona, my bad, dog.
My bad.
Like, come on, happens. Man. Like,
I don't know. It's all bad, but like, we'll see. We'll see how it all goes. But
that's my shout outs. Right. The Flea for everything, THEFL 4 E's, 18 after for TikTok, Snap, Twitter, everything else is just normal. Feel free to add me, post some wholesome shit. I'm a weeb, full-fledged. I spent like $170 on weeb clothes on Black Friday. Dude, Hot Topic had a sale. What do you want?
Yeah, I seen that. That's funny.
I literally spent like $80 at Hot Topic,
right.
And then I bought like $90 worth of DVDs. Like,
right?
It's fucking you show me sale, I'm buying stuff. But
you look like a fucking employee. But yeah, I think touching the mental healthness is great because like I feel like I was someone who fell into that shit too. I went March. I shaved my head completely. I was like a skinhead, and then I just did it. Then I decided I'm not cutting my hair at all. I'm just gonna let the shit grow. I grew this beard in 3 months. I shaved everything pretty much in March, and then I'm like, fuck it, we're just gonna... And then, like, I looked in the mirror one day. I might have sent you the picture, but I've sent a couple people pictures. I looked in the mirror, I'm like, what is wrong with me? I need to get my shit together. And that was, like, last month. And then I took a picture this month, compared it to that picture, I'm like, just getting my mental health and, like, just, like, started working out, started eating better, and everything. I, like, look at these 2 pictures, and I go... These are 2 different human beings. Like, it's insane. Yeah. And I'm like so much more happier.
Like, nobody has been okay. Like I said, like, nobody has been completely okay. And do what you can do to cope in a very healthy way. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean drinking every day. That doesn't mean, like, substances. Like, yes. I mean, I'm still privy to it. Like, there'll be nights where I'll start drinking and, like, all of a sudden the bottle's gone. I'm fucking black. But, like, everyone's sad about some shit, but we're not all crying in the club.
Yeah. I don't know. I looked at it was so surreal. I looked in the mirror and I was just like, I don't even know this person. Like, I don't know.
In like July, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, dude, I hate who I am, and like I hate who I'm becoming, and like, I mean, for the most part, like, this is gonna sound really like weird for everyone watching, but I still fucking hate who I am as a person.
Right.
Every day, I want to like improve. I want to be better. I want to like.
I understand that so much. It's crazy.
Like I look in the mirror every day, and like the days where I'm like happy with who I am is like a victory.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Yes.
Like,
it's insane. It's crazy because I feel the same thing because like even like yesterday I fucking got all dressed up for Thanksgiving, even though it's like I'm going to see like 2 people or some shit, but I'm like in my head I'm like, dude, I don't do anything, you know, like. I could literally just throw on a sweatshirt, a fucking jacket, and just go, you know? But I was like, you know what? I'm going to fucking get a button up, everything look good. I looked in the mirror, I'm like, dude, I feel so much better about myself. I look at myself, and I'm like, it just feels good. And like... Yeah,
like, I like fully support that. Like, because like, for me, like, I like take these gym, like after like post gym, I take like the picture because I want to like keep looking progress. And like some days I'm just like, I got work to do, I got shit to do, and some days I just look at myself and I'm, damn, dude, I don't even like look at all like what I did like 4 months ago. Like, who the fuck am I? Like,
when I took those 2 pictures that I put up next to each other, I was like, all right, it's so much worth it.
Yeah,
like it makes everything worth it. You're like, I mean, I'm not changing too much, and it's not hard, but it's just putting in a little effort. It's crazy how much you can do. Like it's just crazy.
And like I said, like if you see someone, and like I guess the only thing I can ask, like other than be kind, is if you see somebody close to you or like a friend or something like obviously struggling, don't hesitate to reach out. This isn't the time to fucking.
I agree. I agree 100%.
Time to be like, what are they gonna think if I reach out? Like I'm not that close to them. Just fucking say something. Like it goes a long way. Like when everything happened with my grandma, like I was in a place that I wasn't like okay at all. Like I like spent the whole day in the ER. Like everything was like really hard for me, but like when everything got a little bit under control, I like opened up my phone and I looked through messages, and like every single person, including you, like that messaged me, like I like my heart deeply goes out to you guys. Like I was scared. Like I was genuinely scared from being
right
in an okay place, and like just some kind, like a few simple words is like all it takes to make someone's day. Honestly, just like be kind. Just be kind to people. Like gas up your homies, gas up your homegirls. Like it doesn't matter, dude. Like if you see someone post like a picture of a cat, be like, yo, dope cat.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy how much that does. In the world we live now, it's like the littlest things. A fucking like on Facebook and shit. Just like it does something.
Throw them a like, dude. It doesn't cost you anything to throw them a like. Throw them a like on Twitter, like Instagram, whatever. Like
I know it sounds so like oh, that's disgusting that people care about likes, but like it's what we live in. Like it's a little appreciation, a little bit.
Like seeing like when I started doing my gym workout stuff, I was very hesitant. Pictures, happy with it looked, and like the other day for my friend's wedding a couple weekends ago, I got dressed up. I threw on a blazer. I looked good, and like every single compliment that I got, every single person that like messaged me telling me like my hard work is showing how good I look, even if it was like a homie joking around being like, "Damn, bro, you look like a snack," I'd hit that. Like I don't know, it still means the world to me. Like come on,
yes.
It could be as silly as sarcastic as you want it, but like
it's
just
good.
Be nice to people. That's all I'm asking.
It's insane how much you'll feel good. You'll make them feel good. There's no negativity that comes out of that. It's just your life is better. They're better. Everything's better. Just be nice.
We're hitting the holiday season. A lot of people have shit they're battling that they can't talk about. The holiday season is not always easy for everyone. It's like the middle ground of ignoring your problems usually goes away during the holidays. So either you're with your family or you're dealing with problems. Yeah. So just be nice. Just be nice. We've got this whole next month that's going to be holiday season. So be nice to the people who cannot be with their loved ones because of the circumstances going on. Yeah. Be nice to the people. Just be nice. Like that's,
just be nice. I think that's the best way to end this, dude. Just be nice. I think, and like work on yourself. If they're actually just work on yourself. Like, it doesn't matter.
If you, like, weird ass like plug, but if you watch this all the way to the end,
Dude, I think we're like 2 hours in, which is whatever, dude. Fuck you.
Yeah. Like, if you're gonna watch it all the way to the end, or like you skip to the end or something for my shout outs or something, leave a comment down below about something like I guess you're thankful.
Yeah.
You've learned about yourself in this. It's been 8 months, and everyone has learned something about themselves, whether good. Like you learned who you are.
Yeah.
Throughout this. So. All
right. Yeah, we'll wrap this up. I'm gonna post this on Monday. Every Mondays this will be out. It's gonna be on Spotify and iTunes. So if you go on iTunes, please hit us with like.
Get it.
Yeah, please hit us with like a review or 5 stars or a 3-star or a 2-star. Just give me something, you know. Little things like that. Likes on the YouTube channel. Everything helps. Like subscribe.
If you like next content, just like leave a comment, something like
like
everything goes a long way for someone.
It's crazy. It's crazy how much a single like does. Like I appreciate it a lot. And that like. That's if you like it. If you don't like it, I don't need artificial traffic. All right. Just appreciate everything. I'll see you guys next week. Well, I'll see you on Thursday with the boys. I don't know what we're gonna talk some dumb shit probably, but it'll be fun. But for now, we're gonna scoop it up.